How are you lot doing? Today we're dropping into draft for the first time in early access, so this is going to be really exciting. Don't know what's going to be of it, I've not looked at it at all, and we're just starting off by choosing an ability. So Imperial Formation and Call of Harmony, they don't really seem that good to me, and Shieldwall, everyone hates Shieldwall, so we'll go with that. And, you know, instantly Immortals is screaming out to me, because we've got a shield based ability for our leader ability, so Immortals is a nice first pick. And looking here, Organic doesn't look very good, and Coins is a bit of a mess unless we fully drop into it. So we're pretty much just going to have to go with Shield here, which is quite nice, giving us Prophet Lebioda? Prophet Lebioda? I've never played him before because his ability is a bit lame. And 2 damn sorceresses will go really nicely with that Immortals. Again, I'm seeing Shield, but this time I'm not seeing it be as useful, because although Primordial Dow is really good, Centurion Artifice is decent, but Rune Word's just not for me. Board Swarming doesn't really seem that great, to be honest. Because, I mean, Dennis is okay. Clear Skies is just not for me, and Neck is a bit lame. So, you know what? I'm leaning towards Milton and Palmerin here. Because even though Palmerin's the one that deals 2 damage, Milton will actually end up dealing a bunch more if we have Palmerin in hand. So, 2 of them makes it the best choice. Shield, I'm instantly seeing Queen Adelaia and thinking that's probably the best choice for us. I mean, Order's kind of tempting, but nah, Coins again is just completely gone. So, I'm looking here, and this is probably the first group that I'm not too sure, because Defender seemed okay at first, but I just don't think it's going to get me the best of units. Coins is just completely written off. So we might have to go for high power. I mean, so Synthesis Blaze would be quite nice to have. It's just the Griffin and Demon Pirate seem a bit janky again. I mean, I guess I can go with that. I do need to have some cards to mulligan. Okay, well, Casino Bouncers looks like a fun clump. Shield's tempting, but I do like the idea of thinning my deck with Casino Bouncers for an 11-point swing. Coins is just a no. Elves, I don't really see the point of, so Charge maybe? I mean, Aretuza Adept seems like it could be a bit of an issue in this deck. I guess it could work with, like, well, Foltest's Pride, obviously, and maybe a damn Sorceress as well. Yeah, I mean, is it the best of choices? I guess so. I mean, it kind of suits the mostly Northern Realms theme that we got here with a few cards from other places. Again, I'm seeing Shield, and it's probably the nicest looking one, because High Power's got a lot of ways your opponent can benefit from it. Order doesn't seem the best here. I think Weeping Willow isn't great, but I feel like we're just going to need to go for that one anyway. And here, Charge is interesting. I guess we could do that for the Aretuza Adept, but then again, Centurion Spellweaver's not going to get off that much. Warriors is a bit of an issue, because we run Soldiers, not Warriors. And Defender's probably the most tempting here, just because Covenant of Steel, well, that'll be our Defender. Then Armorsmith's pretty bad, to be honest. And then Heimei Herbalist isn't really that great either, but I think it's probably our best decision. Let's go for Defender, get some Skeletons in the deck. Yeah, cause, I mean, although it would be nice to have something which has Order and then damages my opponent by 1 every turn, it just doesn't really seem worth it. Just don't have the Warriors for that kind of group. So we'll go with Defender, and we get one more choice, and that's for our stratagem. And I'm leaning towards Crystal Skull here just because of Veil, so we can kind of get past Poison, which would be our biggest issue, meaning Engineering Solution isn't really the best one for us to go for. And that's going to be our deck. Hopefully it goes well. Okay, so this is actually our second game, because our first game was just completely horrible. We're up against this really well-made Syndicate Horde Deathwish deck, so I don't know what we're going to be up against this time. So I'm seeing a lot of bronzes. We'll get rid of the Smith straight away, because I said he'd be one of our instant mulligans, as is the kind of Heimei Herbalist, so we kind of had to waste all of our mulligans there. But, I mean, we've got one Casino Bouncer in hand, which is nice for deck thinning. And a few other golds, which are quite nice. A lot of our sort of shield procking material in hand. And some other cards like Griffin in case Redanian Archer gets moved, which is incredibly likely, as our opponent's leader ability is movement based. And it's a possibility that they could have some Wild Hunt units. So if we open up with this, we could hopefully bait out an early leader charge. And if not, we can just use our Griffin to eat that card, and it all works quite well. Okay, so they have a Bruiser, they might have multiple, which is a bit annoying. Let's get down an Artificer, actually. Maybe sort of set up a future combo now, just to see what they kind of do to react to it. They go for traps. Okay. That's... Spring Trap does 5 damage, doesn't it? So, I guess we get down Griffin. We'll consume that unit. Spring Trap will go off. Hit that. And then... I guess we just kind of... We can't really... Yeah, we couldn't have really ignored that Spring Trap, unfortunately. Nifral, I guess the best thing we can do to annoy that would be to either shield up units or just kind of gain dominance.
A bit of deja vu.
Yeah, so we're really seeing the kind of Wild Hunt trap side of their deck so far. Maybe we'll get to see some other sides of it in a few turns. If you're wondering why I chose my leader to be Leshen, by the way, it's just because I thought he looked kind of cute. Feign Death, okay. So they've gone for like a kind of elven trap deck. And that actually works really well, doesn't it? Because Wild Hunt units are elves, aren't they? That's actually really clever. They've got this kind of elven Wild Hunt synergy. That's actually so cool. And that's another Bruiser we've seen, so now we just need to hopefully proc their leader ability to stop them, you know, messing with us. Although I think here's our only safe time to pass in the first round and, well, not get completely destroyed. Yeah, we just needed to get out of that round. Issue was, like, they were starting to gain a lot of points by the end of it, and if we kept on pushing, we would have just lost any form of kind of card stability in the final rounds. So the Blacksmith's going to have to go, and Aretuza Adept isn't really for me, so I'll mulligan that back in. We do have a Milton and a Palmerin in hand, which is quite nice. Just need to remind myself which one's which, ability-wise. So we see a dry pass here, which isn't too bad. I mean, I'm kind of thinking of going for a Demon Pirate just to kind of thin out the deck. Although, we do have quite a few good units. We hit Prophet Levy... we hit the Prophet, there we go. Not the best, but yeah, it's a shame it didn't take out any of the jank cards like the Blacksmith that we've seen twice now. That's quite good. It's also quite nice. And I'd say Cleaver's Muscle's the only card in hand that we'd really want to switch out. We do have a lot of cards in deck that I just wouldn't want. So it's tempting. Nah, I'm going to need to mulligan that. Artificer, 5 points and a shield. I guess Aretuza Adept or Synthesis. Yep, that works. Because now we can do it with Foltest's Pride. Or I think we can do it with our mages. Our sorceresses even. Right, so I don't really know how best to open this. Maybe if we just go for like a Could Do Any Cavalry. Could be a safe opener.
I'm itching for that battle.
And I've just realised I want to put that on the melee row for Foltest's Pride. Cool. Cool. Just realised that now. Yay. Menno. Okay, what kind of tactics they've got? None. Okay. Interesting pick. So let's get out the damn sorceress just so our Aretuza Adept can get Zeal, I guess. And then hopefully try and sometime soon get off a combo with Foltest's Pride and, you know, our Aretuza Adept. Actually, tell you what, that Redanian Archer is going to be quite a pain if it keeps on getting charges. So I'm thinking, if I use one of my Miltons to attack Menno, I can break the armor. and still keep the buff of having either Milton or Palmerin in hand, which is quite nice. Although, to be honest, with Palmerin, you don't really need his Death Blow, because we've got no sort of synergy with Spying. Okay, another trap. Trap, Crushing Trap. What other traps even are there? We'll just get Foltest's Pride down now and give it a shield wall, just in case I go for like a Crushing Trap. And we'll just get rid of Menno, I suppose. We're winning by quite a few points, but they could have a big swing. I guess actually this Foltest's Pride is quite nice because it could bait out their leader ability. Maybe. Yeah, there we go. So if we get down a defender now, which has been poisoned. Cool. I mean, I don't know if I want to waste a shield on it actually now. That's been poisoned by Mantis. A card that I've not ever seen be played. Which is what I quite like about these draft and arena modes. You see cards which you don't usually see a lot. They don't control an elf, so they can't purify our side, which is quite nice because it means we get to keep defender status. And I guess if we get down to mortals now, it means if they have any other sort of like crushing traps or anything like that, they'll be forced to break his shield. And in fact, it does mean that we could probably start to set up some combos of like setting off his shield every turn. I mean, maybe it's worth just getting down like Aretuza Adept this turn. Yeah, because I could use it with the Sorceress. And then I could pop the shield. And then that's +4 every turn I can do that. Probably should have done that earlier. But I mean, we're doing quite well anyway. Yeah, I mean, their hand's not looking the best. Okay, and after that singular pop, it does now mean that our Immortals will constantly be ahead on kind of health or power, so that just means that we get to pop his shield even more. And with actual plays, I suppose, because they've kind of put a trap in between every unit, we can just get Palmerin down. Maybe. Or we could give our thing a shield and then do what we want to do. They've got so many traps, it's actually kind of weird. And our defender gets moved, which is actually kind of nice, because it means Aretuza, Adept and Immortals still work just fine. So I guess we just do that pop again. But because of the Frost, we actually have to do it on our front row one, don't we? Which is probably more worthwhile to use it on the back row, because when he Cavalry, because then it'll pop itself. Or actually we could just use Damn Sorceress in hand to pop it. Now unless they got like a Geralt section of draft, I think we should be fine. That's kind of annoying. Does it really matter what I go for with Aretuza? Not really. No, so we'll just hit one of their units for 1 and then... Yeah, there is no point to that, is there? Okay, so we've got a good lead on them. Hopefully their last card isn't too strong, which it isn't. But yeah, that's my first win in draft. Had a very painful defeat before this. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. If you did, I'll probably do some more draft videos in the future.